For breakfast today, we are going to be making hash browns. Now, I get the frozen ones from Whole Foods. I usually just buy a bunch of bags every time that I'm there. There's also a good kind at Trader Joe's, so there's no fat in them, there's no oil, there's no seasoning. If you don't have access to hash browns in a bag, you can always pre-cook some potatoes and just steam them for 5 or 10 minutes and then let them cool completely and shred them yourself. But today we're gonna need a pound of hash browns, so that's an entire bag, and it might seem like a lot, but it's only about 350 calories. Potatoes are really low in calorie density, and we're gonna be adding lots and lots of veggies to this. So this is a big meal. So the first thing we're gonna do is just add our hash browns into a bowl, and I just let these sit out to de-thaw, but if you knew that you were gonna have hash browns the night before, you can just put the bag of hash browns in the fridge and let them thaw. I also have my oven preheating to 400 degrees, so we're just gonna season these hash browns. I have some paprika, we're gonna add a teaspoon of this. You could use smoked paprika as well. Then we have onion powder, we're gonna add a teaspoon of this. And of course garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of this as well. And then we will just add some salt to taste. You can always add more salt after they're cooked as well, but you just want to add a little bit for flavor. So we'll just mix all of that up. And then all we're going to do is add in our vegetables. So here I have some red bell pepper, onion, half of a zucchini chopped up really well, and then some mushrooms. And you can add whatever kind of veggies you want. This is about a pound of vegetables, so I like to have a pound of vegetables either at breakfast or lunch, and that just helps to keep me really full and satisfied throughout the day. So we're just gonna mix this together. And you'll wanna use a really big bowl for this because obviously this is like a ton of food, but it will cook down quite a bit. Now we can just pour this onto a pan. You might have seen in some of my other videos, I do this sometimes in a Cuisinart griddler or like a George Foreman. You can do that, it's just harder to cook this amount. You have to cook kind of like half the amount. So I mean, I eat a lot of food, and that's what helps me stay so slim, is just being like really full on low calorie density food. And sometimes I just can't fit enough in the air fryer or in the George Foreman. So we're just gonna put this in the oven on 400 for about 20 minutes. I'll actually say 20 to 40 minutes because I like it to be very crispy on top. It just depends how you like to have it cooked, so you might want to just keep an eye on it. Some people don't like their hash browns really crispy. Alright, here are our hash browns. So I left these in for about 40 minutes. They're pretty crispy, but you can, if you're in a rush, like if you have to go to work, I would just cook these the night before and then just heat them up in the morning. So I'm just gonna transfer this to a plate. And this recipe has so many vegetables in it, like you don't have to worry about eating it with extra veggies. I mean, you always can eat extra vegetables if you want to, but there's a pound of vegetables in this recipe right here. And then all I'm gonna do is just top this with a little bit of ketchup. I just tasted it a little bit and I think it needs just a little bit more salt, so I'm also just gonna add a little bit more salt. And that is it.